Welcome to this video on creating a bar graph from a dataset in RGuroo. A quick reminder about bar graphs. By definition, bar graphs can only be used to organize qualitative or categorical data. Bar graphs that organize quantitative data are not called bar graphs, they are called histograms. Keep this in mind as we work. Once you log into RGuroo, your screen should look like this. We want to create a graph or plot, so we will select Plots and then Create Plot. From here, let's select Bar Plot. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to select a data set. So I'm going to select Unit 2 RGuroo Practice Dataset. So notice there are actually two tabs here, Categorical and Numerical. So let's do the categorical, and notice it's asking us for two factors. So let's just give it one factor, which is favorite color. And then this should be enough that it will generate a graph. So let's go ahead and hit this button. Okay. So notice it is actually generating a different color bar for each thing. So what we're graphing is a person's favorite color. So we have red, blue, green, purple, and yellow. So let's go back to our menu and see what other options we have. One thing we can do is we can select Add Value Labels, and when we do that, it will label the height of the bar. So that means that 22 people chose red as their favorite color. We can also put a formal title in here. So if I come back here and look at my title, it says bar plot of fave color. So maybe let's pretend I want to actually create, I don't know, a really nice fancy bar plot that has a nicer title than this for a project or something. So I can type in favorite color of 50 students. Okay, so now if I do that, then you can see the title will change. And I can do the same thing if I want to rename either the X or the Y axis. I can absolutely do that. So let's say I want to rename this and I want to type in favorite color. So I would type it right here, favorite color. Okay, so if I want it to look a little bit nicer, then I can do that. So let's look at some of our options. So let's say instead of count, I want proportion. So let's select proportions and see what we get. So now we have this relative frequency. So instead of telling us exactly how many people have a favorite color of red, they're telling us 44% of people chose red as their favorite color, and so on. Another thing you can change if you want to change the order of the categories. So you can change it to decreasing value, increasing value, or data. So for example, let's just say decreasing value. If I hit that button, then it puts them in descending order, meaning the most frequently chosen favorite color, which is red, down to the least frequently chosen. And if we go back and choose the data, I think that was the default setting. This is how it appears in the original data set. So if you're wondering why there is a numerical tab here after I spent some time telling you that bar plots are only categorical, I'll just show you right here. What we're doing here is we are taking one of our quantitative variables and we are basically adding this variable. So let me show you what I mean. So if I look at this, right, this is the mean number of siblings for each favorite color. So if I wanted to know the average number of siblings for people who like red, or the average number of siblings for people who like blue, and so on and so forth. In the context of our particular data set, that is not meaningful. But that's what it's doing here, is it's just graphing, instead of frequency here, it's pulling a different value, and it's just sorting them by these categories. But again, it is still a bar plot is still using categorical data to create bars for each category. So probably in this class, this is probably beyond anything you want to do. But if you were just worried or wondering that I'm lying to you and that bar plots can be used for numerical data, again, that is absolutely not true. If you look at the x-axis, the horizontal axis for the bar plots, this always has to be a categorical or qualitative variable. This is quantitative, it's a count or a measure, but this always has to be qualitative.